The original idea that kind of got me excited about the work that I've been doing was this possibility of being able to put narrative in a place. The text was triggered by the GPS in the device. It sounds little bit technical, but it's quite simple. You walk into a place, when you're in that place, I can make the tech, with the use of the GPS, know where you are and then reveal a piece of text and an image. And that's chapter 1, that's the first chapter. And once you've read that chapter, then the next zone is open to you, so you can walk then to another place. In this way I can kind of set up a breadcrumb trail of pieces of story in chapters that kind of weave a way through a place. I love the idea of being able to take a story, develop a story which only worked there. You know, the development process, the ideas, how they come together, it's quite an interesting process. But the stories that I've written always respond to place, and they kind of drive the story. And here we are in Dunster. It's got a castle, it's got a dovecot, it's got a buttercross, it's got all these really beautiful props. And I started trying to work out a story, how to weave all these pieces together, and I plotted it out. And the more I worked on it, the more the fairy story wrote itself. I love the idea of putting narrative in place. There's nothing in there that is physical. So you go in with your mobile phone, just one click will put the whole walk in your phone, and then you go through the different zones, and each chapter reveals on the walk. And I'm fascinated by that. I feel it's sort of something that's not been played with. I've done painting, I've written stories, I've made jewellery. You know, I've done quite a lot of different kind of art forms, and I felt this was territory that I'd never been in, and I was really excited, and still am. And I just feel that it's just starting to kind of create something that's really quite unique and quite unusual. Our children are immersed in gaming worlds and film worlds. But you know, you pick up a book, you step into the narrative. When you sit there and you read it, you're inside that place. And in many ways, young readers, especially young male readers, haven't really learned that immersiveness of literature. I mean, I read a great quote yesterday. It said, if you're not interested in reading, it's because you're reading the wrong book. The way I designed it is that you hold your mobile and you read the text out loud. You read it to your family. You know, we all read it to the group. So, and there's an important bit that I like to do when we're doing the walk is that I'll read a bit and start the show, and I'll hand the phone over, hand the device over, and ask the next person to read the next chapter. A different voice comes out, different story parts happen, and different. It seems to be a different tale each time. So yeah, and I find that really interesting. But it engages people with the tale more and with the place. You know, you have Alice through the looking glass. You know, she passes through the glass and into the other world. We have the internet. We have that other world. You know, we're desperate to experience other places and other feelings, and kind of see narratives and kind of journey through that. And I feel like this is just another texture within that. I've kind of, you know, you could say it's you know, it's kind of whizzy and whistles, but it's not really. It's text, just within zones, within place, and you read that text out loud, so you have that story-esque feel, but you're immersed in the location as well. So they work together, and kind of, you know, you know, not only do you read the story, you're immersed in it physically, which is really nice, you know. And I think there's a lot of potential, you know, a huge potential, and I'm quite excited to see where it can go and what we can do.